Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prasthaya
Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prasthaya.
Sale Govanda Brindaban.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Jagad, Shri Madana, Sale Govanda
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Haribol, everybody sing loud. Brindarama, Madana Mohana, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Goranga, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Goranga. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Naminei Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate. So I'd like to read something here concerning our state of consciousness. Are we really making progress towards pleasing the Supreme Person? Are we really in a state wherein we have clarity of what we're doing? Or are we being driven by the desire in the mind? So I'll tell you something that you must check. We must check in ourselves. Kaya ko sinasabi to, in discussion natin ngayon, checkin natin kung nagme-make tayo ng progress sa spiritual life. Ibig sabihin nung kung napapalapit nga ba tayo, nagsasucceed tayo to do what is pleasing to God. Okay? Ano yung consciousness natin? Ano yung pag-iisip natin? Ano yung ginagawa natin? Ano yung move natin? Ano yung motivation? Motive ba? Anong desire mo? Ha? Naintindihan nyo? Gusto kong sabihin? Is it clear sa inyo? Okay. So, the science of devotional service can be understood clearly, with clarity from someone who is a pure loving servant of the Supreme Person, a Mahatma, a great personality who is completely on a transcendental realm, not touched by material consideration and the three modes of material nature. Okay? So yun ang gusto kong i-discuss ngayon. What is our relationship with the Supreme Person? Ano yung relationship natin? Ibig sabihin, ano yung relasyon natin sa Diyos, sa Kanya? Paano tayo magkakaroon ng relasyon kung wala naman yung puso natin, yung buhay natin, pag-iisip natin, hindi nakatuon sa kagustuhan niya? So babasahin ko to para ma-check nyo kasi you're given the opportunity to be able to receive the wisdom of how you can please God, to be close with Krishna. Okay. Ngayon, tignan natin yung attitude natin, yung ugali natin. Okay. Ugali natin, yung tendencies natin, saan nakatuon. Okay. Minsan, lahat tayo, dahil sa conditioning natin, ang gusto natin gawin, kung ano lang yung nasa isip natin at ano yung akala natin na magbibigay sa atin ng kaligayahan. Okay? Kaya lahat ng bagay o gawain na madidisturb yung peacefulness natin o yung sitwasyon natin na akala natin kaaya-aya, binabypass lang natin. So, bakit ganon? Kasi nga, contaminated yung relationship natin sa Supreme Person. It's not pure devotional service. Okay. Kaya kung minsan, you're given the opportunity here to engage in the practice of devotional service, but dala-dala natin yung conditioning natin kung anong gusto natin, kung anong gusto natin kunin. At pag nag-relate tayo sa Supreme Person, we relate to the Spiritual Master, we're always thinking what we can get. Okay? Kung anong makukuha natin. Okay. So, when Lord Krishna went to Mathura, the gopis, the residents of Brindaban, were all feeling transcendental sadness and separation from the Supreme Person. Okay. Their meditation, as we can read here, is all about the pleasure of the Supreme Person. So when Lord Krishna sent Uddhava, they were asking, how is Lord Krishna? Okay? Yung material conditioning, yung tayo, when we relate to God, ano yung ibibigay mo sa akin? Ano yung makukuha ko? Okay? Intindihan nyo? Sometimes we're given the opportunity to come in contact with the glories of the holy names. And then we see individuals who came in contact with the holy names. Right? And then we were thinking, what can I get? Okay? What can I get? I can guide them. Okay? You have this desire for something else other than the pleasure of Lord Krishna. It's your pleasure, still contaminated. Just like one time, I have a friend, when he saw all these individuals who were chanting, and he orchestrated something. You know what's orchestration? You do a scenario to project something, okay? To project, to get something, okay? You lay down your tracks, portray yourself as you're like this, put a scenario, it's like this, but the intent is, what can you get? Either having followers or having this feeling of, I'm so advanced that I can guide them. I can be in control. So that's material conditioning. On the other hand, what is transcendental is the Krishna's pleasure. So when Krishna left Brindaban, the gopis, Mother Yasoda, they're always longing, thinking, meditating upon the time when Lord Krishna was in Brindaban, going to the pasture land, protecting them from the demons, Sankasura demon, okay, dancing on the head of Kaliya, saving the devotees. He's always there, protecting them, giving them pleasure, giving them happiness. Kaya when he left Brindaban for a purpose, to establish, to protect Brindaban, so the demons will not disturb Brindaban, it's always a relationship of protection, of his love for the devotees. So when he's in Mathura, he sent Uddhava. And when Uddhava, the disciple of Brihaspati, okay, the spiritual master of the demigods, okay, Brihaspati. Okay. So, when he came there, when he arrived in Brindaban, the gopis, the residents, were so anxious to know how is Krishna. Okay? Sa material world, tayo, when you chant, you go to God, you're thinking, what can I get? How can I be free? How can I be saved? So doon yung makita yung difference. Okay? So, like here, many little things, nitty-gritty, alam mo yan. Somebody is taking care of Lord Chaitanya. It's not your slot. Okay? It's not your slot to clean. It's not your slot to get flowers. But you come just to feel convenient. Okay? To become purified. Because it's a ritual you do every day. It's not your life to serve Krishna. To please Krishna. That is the difference of what is a devotee is. The devotee immediately picks up, I can do this to Krishna. I can serve Krishna. He looks around, there's no flowers for Krishna. The place dirty, clean this. Okay? He sees the kitchen, no? There's no more rice to offer to Krishna. And he will not tell you report that immediately. Sir, there's no rice for tomorrow, for offering. He does not report na in the morning when everybody's chatting, sir, there's no offering. Huh? The devotee, you see, is making progress because he picks up immediately how to please Krishna. So it doesn't need na tayo in our little way. In our little way. We can do it. Guided by the 9 process of devotional service. Guided by the wisdom. And pag nagpa-progress kayo, it becomes natural. Like, ikaw, Brindaban, humihinga ka man sa katawan na yan. Pero hindi ka nagme-make effort huminga, di ba? Nakaupo ka dyan, pero humihinga yung katawan na. It should be like that. Kaya when Krishna left Brindaban, the gopis, they were thinking, how is Krishna? Does he remember us? Does he remember his father, mother? Okay. How is he doing there? They're always thinking and meditating upon their connection in pleasing Krishna. Kabaliktaran sa practice na ginagawa natin ngayon. We engage in the practice kasi either you fast or you become you disobedient, then you have to, maguna kayo doon. Hindi ganun yung consciousness ng devotee. Meaning you're not making progress. Tindihan niya? Spontaneous. He who picks up, I can please Krishna. So, spontaneous, yun ang point ko. Spontaneous, unconditional surrender and love for Krishna. That's their life. That is a pure loving servant of Krishna. Okay. No material consideration. What is material consideration? You want something. That's why Lord Chaitanya is present. I have no desire to have material wealth. I have no desire to enjoy beautiful women. I have no desire to have any numbers of followers of mine. My only desire is to engage in your devotional, loving service, life after life. So that is our eternal activities. Our activities in the service of God. So that we should achieve to be spontaneous. Natural ba? Parang humihinga ka. It's like when you're drowning, you need air. Okay? So now you're given this opportunity to ride on this life-saving boat. Okay. The waves are there, but you're holding it. And what holds it? Your desire to please Krishna. Okay. Why did Krishna left Brindaban, but he never left Brindaban? Why? And the gopis, the residents of Brindaban, are never separated from Lord Krishna. So anong separation natin kay Lord Krishna? It is our material consciousness. The false ego. Meaning, we have no devotion to the Supreme Person. Our relationship with God is what we can get. We're not able to see that we're already provided. You're being all provided. Your body is moving. It's sustained by, not you. You're there because the body is moving because you're there. But who sustains the body really? Krishna. Who gives you water? Who gives you air? Where did you came from? From Krishna. So when you become aware of the situation, wow, I'm so much loved. Sobra pala akong mahal ng ama ko, ni Krishna. Ng kaibigan ko, si Krishna. So dito natin makikita, when Uddhava went to Brindaban, He's there. He saw how they're completely remembering Lord Krishna, to please Lord Krishna. They're caring for Krishna. Did you ever think na, how can I care for Krishna? How can I love Krishna? How can I offer my service? It's always, what can I get? Even though you're chanting, you come with this wisdom. If you have material consideration, you see people, oh, I want to guide them so they can go to Krishna. No, that's not the process. Okay? It's beyond your control. It's beyond your league. Because you're not God. Okay? It's Maya. It's Lordship. Even in the name of so-called devotional service. To guide them. Okay? You want followers. You feel, this control. Because you feel you're so pure. Okay? But you play humble. Okay? You orchestrate something as if you don't know. But the process you do and engage in is a scenario you orchestrate so you can get something. So Maya tricks you. Takes you away from Krishna. Meaning, you're not really completely surrendered to Krishna to do His will. You engage in activities for a condition to get something. Okay? To get something. So, ganun yung relationship natin. So, dun yung makikita if you're making progress. When you wake up in the morning, what is your consciousness? Okay. Ano yung gusto nyo paggising nyo? Okay. Paggising nyo, inisip nyo, how can I please Krishna? Okay. And if you make an effort to follow the science, the practice, then Krishna will be the one to wake you up. So you can remember, recall, have a recall of what you're longing for, your service to Krishna. You're thinking of His pleasure. Inisip mo ba, paano kaya ma-serve si Krishna? Okay? Laging ganon. So the gopis in Brindaban, Mother Yasoda, when Uddhava came, they're always, how's Krishna? How is he doing? Does he remember us? But they're always broken-hearted, but feeling separation from Lord Krishna. But their focus is simply doing the will of Krishna, pleasing Krishna. For the pleasure of Krishna, a devotee engaged in activities for the pleasure of Krishna. For the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for the pleasure of His spiritual master. It's very hard to see Lord Krishna, but He reveals Himself through the heart when you come in contact with this confidential loving servant. Because you're allowed to enter, to taste that sweetness of surrender, a recall from Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna tells us, from me comes intelligence. Okay. From Him comes forgetfulness. So if we are making progress, we have remembrance of the guidance that we have come in contact with the teachings of our spiritual master, especially the chanting. Because the chanting of the holy names, as what Lord Chaitanya said, it is the prime benediction. It is invested with all transcendental potency. It is Krishna, it's the spiritual word. When you chant the holy names, you're pleasing Krishna. So the glorification of the holy names is pleasing Krishna. So the more you engage in the Sankirtan movement, the chanting of the holy name, you're pleasing to Krishna. You don't dwell with your mind anymore. You are now the person using the mind, relegating the desire as not important, but rather what is pleasing to Krishna. What can I do for you? So if we're in that consciousness of a meditation to please Krishna, we become selfless. We are able to appreciate God's pleasure because we surrender our life to Him. And without serving Him, without doing what He wants, we have no life. Are we in that state? No. We have other consideration. Nandito kayo, it's a means to get something. Okay? Either magandang buhay, maging matalino, okay? Para in the future, maging yung buhay nyo kaaya-aya. You have something else. But the devotees, as you see, when Lord Krishna left, before leaving Brindaban, the devotees, they don't want him to go. And Krishna appeased them that he'll come back. He'll always be remembering them, protecting them. And he thanked them. So, Krishna is so thankful to the devotees because they are thankful. Okay? But in spiritual practice, when we are not in that state, we cannot appreciate that. We want to be thanked. Thank you, Kirtadas, okay, for chanting. Okay? Thank you for cleaning the temple. Intindihan niya? Hindi spontaneous. You want something else. Yung devotee service as the end itself. What is service? Glorification of Lord Krishna's pastimes. Remembering His will, His desire. That I give my heart, my love. Although Krishna doesn't need that. Because He's complete and pure. Transcendental. But I need that relationship. Because on a truest, absolute sense, we are completely dependent upon that relationship of God's pleasure. Because we are not complete. As a spirit soul, we have the same qualities as the Supreme Soul. Like the spark of the sun rays has the same qualities coming from the sun. But you cannot compare the sun rays as the sun. Tindihan niya? We need to be dependent to take shelter of sweet Lord Krishna, the holy names, and our spiritual master. Ang ngayon, iba yung dependence natin yung orchestration ng Nimaya, yung imagination natin, yung conditioning natin, kung ano yung devotee. As if yung devotee is someone who has so many followers, who speaks, and everybody listen. Hindi yun. The devotee remembers the pastimes of Lord Krishna and enter in that world of loving service and devotion, loving remembrance. Kaya hearing is very important. And it comes an advancement. Advancement doesn't mean you can guide so many people. You're not the Paramatma. You're not Krishna. Okay. Some individuals are like that. They try to orchestrate. Okay, you follow me because I'm a devotee. I'm pure. I'll guide you to Krishna. If we follow the footstep of the saintly person, the resident of Brindaban, Krishna comes. Okay. Remember how he sent? While they were engaged in serving Krishna, the Supreme Person, sweet Krishna, in his childhood pastime, Lord Krishna is always thinking to protect them. So he went to Mathura to protect them. So the demons won't disturb Brindaban. He's our well-wisher. So dun nyo makikita, who is your well-wisher? Sino yung sasandalan nyo? Krishna. But meron man kayong sariling mundo. Kaya when you come in contact with the spiritual master, you want something else. Okay? You see him externally. I want followers. I will guide them to Krishna. And then you orchestrate something. Alam, orchestrate? Lay down the tracks as if you can trick the spiritual master to give you the blessing. You are the appointed one to guide the people to Krishna. And then you have this paper signed, notarized, from the lawyer, okay? I've been appointed by such and such to guide these people, and you should work under me. Whatever you do should be reported to me before you act. This is nonsense. This is demoniac. Okay? Because you are still wanting to play God now in the realm of so-called devotional service. Be careful because Maya can trick you. Maya's very tricky. Akala nyo mabudol-budol yun si Maya? Matagal na tayo nabudol-budol ni Maya. Okay? Kung ba we try to orchestrate something for control, even in the name of a devotee. I'm the number one kirtan singer. Okay? I will purify them by my nice voice. Okay? And my tears, I am what? You try to, conjure something externally so people will follow you. The difference between the pure loving servant or the Mahatmas, they're able to touch your heart. Okay? They have the potency to touch your heart because they can connect us with what we're longing for. Service, which is inseparable from us. And dependency upon that person, Krishna, the all-attractive Supreme Person, Lord Krishna. Is it clear sa inyo? So you check yourself if you're making progress. Because Maya is very tricky. Nandito kayo sa mundo na akala nyo kaya nyo i-trick si Maya. As long as one has material desires, alam yung material desires? As long as one is not liberated, then you'll have a hard time making progress. That's why when a person is liberated from material desires, he can now engage in devotional service. And what is devotional service? Doing the will of God. Pleasing Him. Is it clear sa inyo? We're not, it's a science you must understand. It's not hearing from the grapevine. Alam yung grapevine? Sabi ni Puti, ito daw ang devotional service. Okay? 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 Tapos sasabihin naman, sabi ni Puti kay Kirtandas, ganito daw ang devotional service. Kasi narinig niya sa lola niya at sa yumao niyang lola. Okay? Ano yun? Magsama-sama lang daw tayo, kapit kamay. Okay? Damit natin pare-pareho. Okay? Gupit natin pare-pareho. Okay? At yung mata natin laging hindi yung dapat mukhang mabait. Okay? Okay? Fatherly. Okay? Pero you see individuals, the serial killer Bundy, okay? He smiles, he's very nice. How many people did he kill? He's a serial killer. Okay? So when we have these material desires, not liberated, then we want something other than serving and pleasing Krishna. It's about ourselves. Okay? So now, what should be our motive? To please Krishna, what He wants, not what we want. Now, if you want something, you follow your own will, you have the material desires that you want to be fulfilled, either establishing a solid foundation for the graveyard of your body with all the cars, the wealth, okay? Then you leave the body. You waste your time. Whatever state of consciousness one remembers at the time you live, at the time one leaves the body, that state he will attain. That's why we must engage in the practice of devotional service. We must engage in the science the sacrifice in this age of Kali Yuga, the prime benediction, the chanting of the holy names. Harinama, Harinama, Eva Kevalam, Kolowa Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. We must follow the teachings of Scripture, Puranas, that there is no other alternative. There is no other alternative in this age of quarrel and confusion except the chanting of the Mahamantra, the glories of the holy names. Because Krishna is the supreme purifier, not us. Okay? Not me. So how can we please Krishna? You have intelligence, you can remember, you have ears. So you open your ears. So the sound coming from the scripture we are reading and the teachings of our Gurudev based upon the absolute truth of our eternality, our transcendental position, and our function as eternally the loving servant of God. We must be very clear that this is what we should be engaging in. Regardless of all the encumbrances, the material desire in the mind, because that will protect us when we connect our heart, our life in doing the will of Lord Krishna by following the instruction of our spiritual master. You are able to negate. The mind, nandun yung desire, irrelevant. Tinatawag ka ng girlfriend mo, dito ka sa muna, mag-text muna tayo, mag-chat muna tayo. Let's talk about sweet nothing. Okay, alam yan? Let's talk about sweet nothing and I'll send you sweet kisses. Yung bibig na ganon. Send mo ka agad, nakaganon ka naman. Okay? Yung ganon yung muka. Okay? So you waste your time. Maya takes your mind because of the desire to do your will. Okay? So tatanong tayo, can I be successful in pleasing Krishna? Yes. Okay? Do I have to follow this someone who poses himself as very advanced and orchestrating something so he'll guide us? No. The science is descending. The mercy is descending. Parampara. So in teaching of Lord Chaitanya, those who are very fortunate comes in contact with the saintly person who guides the individual soul with the foundation taught by the instructing spiritual master, Krishna, through scripture. And it is centered around meditating and remembering the Supreme Person and offering our service in devotion. Sa mundo na to, you engage in everything. Ang devotion, sarili nyo. Okay? I, me, mine. I, me, mine. I, me, mine. Even in tears, I, me, mine. Okay? In suffering, I, me, mine. In death, I, me, mine. I, me, mine. I, me, mine. Tininininininining. Okay. Yun ang mundo ng materialist. Monster man. Matter monster. Alam niyo matter monster? Hindi chocolate monster na nakikita niyo. Ano? Matter monster. Baka lahat ng senses, Terminator ba? Vacuum. Kasi ang guide, yung mind. Yung fuel, yung matinding pagnanasa, yung lust. Kaya you're burning. Kaya you want relief. To be relieved from the burning. And you engage. You want relief. You follow the horses. You become enslaved by the senses. Trampled by the mind. Eternally suffering, birth, death, disease, and knowledge. So what is freedom then? Is to take shelter of Lord Krishna. When we make progress, we're always thinking, what is pleasing to Krishna? How can I please Krishna? In material consciousness, what do I get? Okay, you're serving Lord Krishna, okay? You're given the opportunity to engage in congregational chanting. Okay? You must be thankful. Okay? You don't need to write Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, I've been chanting for 10 years, 14 years. Sankirtan every day. Look what I did. Okay? And how come he's not writing back to me? Telling me you're a good devotee. Thank you, Kirtadas. You're a good devotee. Hindi ka pinapansin. Why? That is not the role of the spiritual master. I have a friend. He's allowed to offer to Krishna, to the spiritual master. Okay. Bring food. And he stays there. He's not appreciating that he's able to offer something to Krishna that the devotees have prepared. So the spiritual master can sustain his body while speaking and talking to so many people the whole day, guiding them. Okay? You go there, and then you offer the food. He's talking to someone. Okay? Nakakausap niya. Spiritual master nakipag-usap sa someone, trying to organize and assist yung mga devotees how they can serve Krishna nicely. Okay? He enthused them because he wished them well to be engaged, to surrender, and give their life to Krishna. And you're there offering. And then you don't get out. Nandun ka ba? Ba't hindi lumilungon si Srila Prabhupada? Hindi ako tinitignan ng spiritual master kasi may kausap siya. So ngayon, dinisturb mo pa siya. At para ano? Para sabihin, Kirtan Das, thank you for bringing the food. You're a good devotee. Kaya hinto mo na yung spiritual master. Titingin sa'yo. Thank you. Okay? Ha? Intindihan niyo? Klaro sa inyo? Service as the end itself. You must be praying. We must be praying. When will that day come? When my service is the end itself. When my life, my heart is simply a world of pleasing Lord Krishna, of completely bowing down, falling down, and praying to Lord Krishna. Please let me serve you. Let me love you. You wish your spiritual master, you wish Krishna happiness, although he's the supreme person who is complete. But your motivation, your intent is always to please Krishna. So that's why when Uddhava came, the gopis were asking, Mother Yasoda, how is my son? How is Lord Krishna? Is he well? And Lord Krishna also is send Uddhava to report. But it's all interconnected with his love. Uddhava is able to see the loving service, the attachment of the pure loving servant, their meditation in samadhi. Samadhi. How they love Lord Krishna. He given that opportunity to see. So, Krishna reveals himself to us according to our loving service. Understand? Kaya you should check yourself. Kasi time is running. When will that day come? When just doing what is pleasing to Krishna, meditating upon his pastimes, his glories, and helping, assisting my spiritual master in his service to Lord Krishna, and I am fortunate enough to take part in his pastimes. Is it clear sa inyo? So, Haribol Namaste. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate. Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate. Haribol, everybody sing loud. Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Krishna Chaitanya. Bhaji Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur, Bhakta Vrinda. My God. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Naminai, Pura Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.